view class. Okay, so it means you can develop. So you can develop an API or endpoints by using class. You can develop. What you can do is you can develop API views by using classes. So this is API view class. So the endpoints are APIs can be developed okay, using functions or using which one? Classes. You can develop it either by using functions or you can develop it either by using classes. Now here API view is a generic view class. It is a generic view class, generic API view class, generic API view class. Okay, and can be used to develop what here? Generic endpoints. To develop generic endpoints. Okay, these are generic endpoints. You can develop it by using which class? API view class. And this class provide various. This class provide various HTTP HTTP what here request methods. Okay, so for handling each request method, there is one method provided by this API view class. Now let me develop this by using API view class. So I said I'll take one simple example. Okay, here I'm writing start project. So this is web API some file, right? So then open this web API and create an API. So Python manage.py. Okay, start application API, right? So so here you install the application. So that is a REST framework, right? So after this, now I said we are developing an API. Now even I'm trying to install the application that is API. So here we are developing an API by using a view class. So a REST framework. So dot views. Now here I'm trying to import. So API view class. So by using this API view class, I'm trying to develop what here? APIs. Okay, it is one class which will have different request methods. So that request method can be a get or post or put or patch. All these methods you can handle differently by writing different methods. Means instead of writing everything in one method, okay, you can handle it by writing what here? Various methods. Instead of writing everything in one method, you're trying to handle it by using various methods. For example, now here, yesterday I said I'll tell you one application. So there is a class and the class is account where I'm saying models dot. So models dot model, right? So this is an account class and what account is having is anyway, by default, it will generate the ID. ID as a primary key, right? So here I'll take a name. So which is models dot character field. So I try to define the maximum length and there is a balance. So the balance of the customer here and what is the balance is. So I take this as a decimal field. So I can define the maximum number of what do you call it as digits. Maximum number of digits are some 12 and in this decimal places are 2. So total width is how much here? 12. Total width is a 12 and within that how many decimal places are there? 2 decimal places. But what is the total width is here? 12. And in that how many decimal places are there? 2 decimal places. Okay, now this is model. Then I try to add one, okay, serializer. So here I'm writing serializers dot py. So from API dot models import. So there is a model called account from REST framework dot serializers import. So model serializer. So here I'm trying to develop some serializers. Okay, I'm trying to develop some serializers. Okay, now assume that already account is having some details. Okay, but you're trying to deposit and you're trying to what here withdraw. So here I'm using a deposit serializer. It is a model serializer, and you are trying to define the what you call it as meta class, and where you define the model. So what is a model is account is a model, and here you are trying to include the fields. So what are the fields will be there like ID, and there is a name, and one more is what balance. If you want, you can use all. If you want, you can use which method? All method. So that will include what here? All. That will include what here? All. Right. So that is a fields ID and name, and one more is what? Balance. Now it is also having, suppose when you're trying to deposit, what you required, you need to input some amount. You try to input the amount. Now here I take one field called which one? Amount, and where I'm using from REST framework. So REST framework import, import serializers. Now amount is, okay, I'm using serializers dot decimal field. Okay, so here I'm defining the maximum digits and number of digits, right? So which you call it as decimal places are how many here? Two. So here, because you're trying to send even what amount, okay, it means total how many fields are there in deposit serializer, ID, name, balance, and amount. But here we are not storing anywhere amount. We are just updating which one? Balance. Because we have only one model. We have only one model called account. And this is having name as well as what here? Balance. This is having a name as well as balance. And you are trying to use a serializer, okay, to convert input request into what? Python data, and Python data to what? JSON. So for that, you are trying to use what here? Serializer. Now there is a deposit serializer. What this deposit serializer is doing now? Now you are trying to update. What you are trying to do? You are trying to update only balance. You are trying to update only balance. But generally, update method will update what? Complete row. But I want to update only balance. But I want to update the balance based on the condition. So here I'm customizing which method here? Update method. I'm customizing which method here? Update method. So there is a self. Self is nothing but current object. That current object is nothing but which object? Serializer object. Comma, it is also take what here? Instance. I think you know it. That is for updating a value, replacing the old with what? New. And then it is also having which one? What do you call it as valid data. So actually this is a signature of which one? Update. But actually update is not a method of deposit serializer. Update is a method of which one? Model serializer. Update is not a method of model serializer is having methods like create and what is that? Update. Okay, now this update is not a method of update is not a method of deposit serializer. Update is a method of which one? Model serializer. So validate. So what is the name of this is validated, validated, validated what here? Data. So this is actually a signature. This is actually what a signature of which method? Update method. But by default, update method will update one field or all the fields? All the fields. But I want to update only which field? Balance. So, but you update the balance based on some condition. So that is suppose amount should not be less than zero. Okay. Amount should not be less than what here? Zero. Right? Amount should not be less than zero. But when this update method get executed, see generally update method executed when you click on save. And before saving, you'll try to call which method is validate. And is validate, is valid. Is valid method returns which data? Validated data. But what is validate data here? Dictionary. And what does dictionary contain the valid data? Like it is having amount, it is having ID, it is having name, it is having what? Balance. Now you are reading the valid amount. You are reading the amount. Amount equal to validated, validated data of validated data of which one? Amount. So where it will try to populate the valid data in one dictionary. What is the name of the dictionary is validated data. Now here you are trying to verify if amount is less than, if amount is less than what here? Less than or equal to what? Zero. If amount is less than or equal to zero, then it should rise an error or not? Yes. What is that error is? Validation error. So you should rise an error. What is that error is? Validation error. Where is this validation error is? From Django dot Cora. So here I'm trying to write which error here? Validation error. And here I'm trying to display the message. What is the message is? Amount should not be zero or less than should not be less than or equal to what? 0. So this is error which you are raising it when if the amount is less than what here 0. If the amount is not less than 0, what you have to do? You have to update. What do you have to update? Balance. What do you have to update here? Balance. And here instance is there. Instance is nothing but which instance? Model instance. Instance is nothing but which instance? Model instance. Okay, instance dot. What is the name of the field is balance. Instance dot balance equal to instance dot balance plus what is that amount. Instance dot balance equal to instance dot balance plus amount. And after updating it, what you're trying to do? You're trying to save it. Okay, instance dot save. You call the save method and return. Which one you are returning is instance. And this instance is nothing but which instance it is? Model instance. This instance is nothing but which instance? Model instance. Now this is called as which serializer? Deposit serializer. Okay. In the same way, you are writing one more serializer. What is that? Another serializer. Withdraw serializer. Withdraw serializer is again which serializer? Model serializer. And here also you have an amount. So how much amount you want to withdraw? But again, you have to check the condition. Again, you have to check the condition. Now, same thing. You're trying to include all the fields. You're trying to include what? All the fields here, right? And one extra field is there. And what is that field is amount. And you're trying to use again which method? Update method. Okay, self comma. Now, suppose if one more model is there, you can override create method also. So create method because suppose you want to update the balance and you want to insert data into transactions. Then what do you do? It you override one more method called which one? Create. So now this is a validated data. So validated data is there. Now here, what you are trying to do is, so you are trying to read validated data. It is a dictionary, and what this dictionary contain here? Amount. And here you are trying to check if amount is less than or equal to 0, rise which error? Validation error. And here you are saying amount. Amount should not be, amount should not be less than, should not be what? Less than or equal to what here? 0. It should not be less than or equal to what? 0. Okay, else if amount is greater than what? Instance dot balance. Then rise again which error? Validation error. Again you are raising a validation error saying that amount should be less than what? Balance or insufficient insufficient balance. Insufficient balance error. Otherwise, you're saying instance dot balance minus equal to what here? Amount. And then you're saying instance dot say. Then return, what you return here? Instance. Okay, now this is updating. But when this update method is called, whenever you want to update the model by using which method? Put method. Whenever you are trying to update the model using which method? Put method. Okay, right? So this is balance minus amount. Now there are two serializers. So one is a deposit serializer and one more is what? Withdraw serializer. I think this logic you understood, right? So amount also you are serializing it because you want to even validate is it amount is valid or not, right? Okay, right? Now after this, what you are trying to do is instance dot balance. What is the mistake? Instance dot balance minus equal to amount. Yeah, minus equal to amount. Minus subtracting, right? Okay, you can write shortcut. You can also write equal to instance dot balance minus amount. Instead of writing like this, I've just used assignment operator, right? So is it this will do the same thing or different? Same, right? Okay. The next one is, so next is you have to develop the view. So you have to develop the endpoints. Okay. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to insert some data. Okay. Because we require data to perform which operations? Deposit and withdraw. So we'll just go for admin.py. And here I'm saying admin dot. I'm writing here admin dot site dot register. And what is the model is from API dot models import. What is the name of the model is account. So just register this model. Okay, right? So what will I do is I'll do the migrations. So make migrations. Oh, where is error is? Huh? Underscore. settings.py. Now make migrations. What happened here? Rest, right? So created model. Then after that, migrate. So migrate. You don't require all this to migrate. Okay. So after this, I'm trying to say Python. So manage.py. Now create super user. So I'm trying to create a super user here, right? So I'm creating a super user to perform some inserting of data because I'm not creating any front end for that. So just run the server. So here I'm using a slash admin. Now try to input some data here. So input some data with some balance. Okay, so you require some data here. Okay, you require some data. So you're trying to input some data here. Okay. So I try to input some three accounts, right? So we created three accounts. Now, so now what we have to do is we have to develop a view class. Okay. So we have to develop which class here? View class. So that is a API view class that will handle all the methods. But here I'm developing a different view classes. Now here so from serializers, import, what is the name of the serializer? Deposit serializer, withdraw serializer. Now here I'm trying to develop a deposit view. This is an endpoint and this is which view? API view. Deposit view is an API view and you're trying to override a method. And what is the method you are overriding? Okay. You're trying to update what? You're trying to update? You're trying to update the balance or not? Yes. Now you're trying to update. Now you can handle this because you are creating one transaction. Okay. You are creating a transaction. So you can handle this request either by using put method or you can handle this request by using which method? Post method. Because it is nothing but you are doing some changes at the server or not. Yes. So that can be a post request. That can be what? Put request. Okay. Now I'm trying to use a method called which one? Post. Now self comma request, self comma request comma. Now this will try to receive what here? Primary key means, what is the primary key here? Account number or ID. What is the primary key here? ID. Okay, because there is a default field is created or not? Yes. What is the default field is ID. Now that ID is auto generated. Now you enter now self comma request comma primary key. Then what you have to do is you have to get the details of that customer. You have to get the details of that customer from which model? Accounts model. Okay. You have to get the details of customer from which model? Accounts model. Now Django.shortcuts. Okay. There is one shortcut here. You can use this method here directly by saying account. I'm saying here account equal to what is the name of the model is? What is the name of the model? Account model from. So from API.models import. What is the name of the model is? Account model. The name of the model is what here? Account model. So here I can write what I can write accounts dot model manager dot what is the method is get. So where I'm saying ID equal to what primary key. ID equal to what here primary key. I can write like this. I can write like this, or you can use one shortcut. You can write like this, or you can use one shortcut called as get object. You can use one shortcut django dot shortcuts. Now there is one function. See, you can write like this, but this will raise an error when this will raise an error if the ID is not found. If the ID is not found, what will happen? It raises the error, but it will not generate any error page. It will not generate any error page. Generally, it will generate an error page, right? You can use accounts.objects.get ID equal to PK. That is primary key. What you send it. Okay, whatever you send it, now you are trying to use that. Now you can handle this either using a post method, or you can also use which method? Put method. You can also handle it by using which method? Put method. Okay. Now after getting this, now what we have to do? Now after getting this, what we have to do? Now you receive the primary key. Now what request contain? Amount. The request contain what here? Amount. Request contain what? Amount. How much amount you want to deposit? Are you sending that amount or not? Yes, as a part of request body. You are sending that as a part of request body. Now you are reading the amount by saying request dot what is request dot data dot get. It is a dictionary. Request dot data dot get. This is what here dictionary. And from this dictionary, you are reading the value of which one amount. So you don't require to do anything like converting. Generally, what you do, you try to convert bytes into what? JSON. You convert bytes into what? JSON. JSON into what? Dictionary. JSON into what? Dictionary by saying dumps and stream. Okay, but you don't require because you are implementing directly which view? API view. So you are directly saying request dot data dot get. What is the name of the keys? Amount. If the keys exist, it will return the value. If the keys not exist, it will return what? None. If the keys exist, it will return the value of that key. If the keys not exist, it will return what? None. If the keys exist, it will return the value. If the keys not exist, what it will return? None. Right? Yes. Then next, what you have to do? What you have to do? You have to create which object here? You have to create which object here? Serializer object. You have to create which object here? Serializer object. Serializer object you are creating it. So why you are creating a serializer object? Because to convert this model instance, to convert this model instance, to validate this input data, is it this input data is valid or not? If it is a valid, you are trying to save the data into what? Model. So for that, you are trying to use what? A model serializer. What is the name of this is? Deposit serializer. What is the name of this is? Deposit serializer. Now I'm creating a serializer. I'm creating what here? Serializer. And what is the name of the serializer? Deposit serializer. What is the name of this is? Deposit serializer. Now here I'm saying account. What is the account is? What is the account is? Or what is the account is? Model instance. What is the account is? Model instance. Right? Account is nothing but model instance. Means you are updating which one? Or you are updating which one? Account. You are updating which one? Account. Account comma. Account comma. Now what you are trying to send data? What is the data here? Amount. What is the data here? Amount. Data. What is the data here? Amount you are sending it. What data you are sending it here? Amount. Now you are trying to verify. See, this is a model. This is a model instance, and this is now deposit serializer is having total how many fields? Deposit serializer having total how many fields? How many fields are there? See, a deposit serializer amount, ID, name, and what? Balance. And ID, name, balance belongs to which one? Account, right? And you are added one more extra field. What is that extra field is? Amount. So are you given value of amount or not? Yes. But how you are given value of amount? By just saying account. So what is the name of this is? Account. You are trying to send it account as well as amount. Amount actually, this amount is there as a part of which one? Request dot data. But here data should be always in which format? Dictionary format. But here amount is single value or not? Yes. What we have to do is now you can send directly, you can send directly data equal to request dot which one? Data. It is nothing but post data. That is nothing but which data? Post data, whatever data you post. But what data you post? Amount. What data you post? Amount, right? So serializer, deposit, serializer, account comma data equal to request dot data. Now this is nothing but data what you send, and this is the data which is there in what? Model. So account is nothing but here what? Instance. What is account here? Instance. Means you are updating which one? Instance. Which instance you are updating? Account instance. It is a model instance which you are updating, and data equal to request dot data. This is nothing but which data? Post data. And you are validating this post data. You are validating what? This post data. So that will return one dictionary. What is the dictionary? Is validated data. Validated data. If serializer dot is valid. If it is valid, what do you have to do? If it is valid, what do you have to do? You have to say account dot sorry, serializer dot. What is the method is? Say what same method calls? Same method calls which method? Update method. Same method calls which method? Update method. Because you are trying to override which method? Update, right? So what is the name of this is? Suppose now here I said serializer dot save. Serializer dot is valid. Then you are calling which method? Same method. But same method calls which method? Update method of which serializer? Deposit. Update method of which serializer? Deposit serializer. Update method of which serializer? Deposit serializer. Right? Because you pass how many here? Two. Right? So else if it is not valid, then it will raise an error or not? Yes. If it is valid, okay, save it and then return a response. Return response. Return response. What is the response is? You're trying to say from REST framework dot response import. What is the name of this is? Response. So return response. And what is the response is? You're trying to return the response by saying message. And what is the message is? Deposit completed. So deposit what here? Completed. And here I'm writing the status. and the status code is some 200, which is successful or something, right? Otherwise, it will return the response. It is not valid, then return. So return response. And what is the message is return the response. What is the message is you can directly use which message. What is the name of this is serializer dot errors. Okay, comma. I'm writing a status. What is the status is 400. The client is given some wrong information, right? Now this is which view here? Deposit view. This is which view here? Deposit view, right? So post method self. You can handle this either by using post method. You can handle this either by using which method? Put method. Put is a request for updating or not? Yes. Post is a method for creating. Put is method for updating, right? Now, but what you have to do? You have to disable. You have to disable what? CSRF token. See, any method you can use it, either post method, either what? Put method. Let me first we'll do this deposit. Okay, right? And then we'll talk about withdraw. Now, so come to the URLs from API dot. So views. So what is the name of the view is deposit view. So I'm trying to define the path. What is the path is? So this is account slash, and you have to send one value which is called as a primary key slash. What is the operation you are doing? Deposit. Now I'm writing this as a so deposit view as what here view. If you want, you can give the name, right? So as a callable, no module named serializer. Okay, right? Now here I send the data and even I define URLs dot py. You can give any name. Suppose what I said here account and you are sending the primary key and what is the operation you are doing? Deposit. Okay. I can write one more URL account primary key and what is that? Withdraw, right? And that is one more view I can take. What is that view is? Withdraw view. That is one more view is which view? Withdraw. So you are converting into a callable because class-based view is not a callable, right? Class is not a callable. You are converting into a callable by just invoking a method called what here? As view. So you are making this as what here? Callable. Okay. Then what you have to do is develop a client application. So develop a client application here, right? I'll just modify. Okay. So here develop a client application. Okay. Now here, now this is which view endpoint is. So let me, now there is a deposit. So what is the name of this is deposit. Now the client application want to perform which operation here? Deposit. Now I should input what here? ID. I should input the ID. Now you are saying integer of input what here? Account number. ID is nothing but what here? Account number. Then after that, you have to input what you have to input? Amount. How much amount you want to deposit? Input amount to do deposit. How much amount you want to deposit? Send it. Key and value. What is the keys? Now key, you don't send a key because key is sent as a part of URL. Now you send only what? Amount. So here the name of the dictionary is some account. The name of the dictionary is what? Some account. And what this account is having is the key is amount and value is what here? Amount. And you are trying to convert this into JSON and then content type and data JSON data. But here, what is an endpoint is? Now the endpoint is here. Endpoint is what is the endpoint is? You have to generate the endpoint. So this endpoint is a dynamic. Here I'm writing an endpoint, and what is an endpoint is accounts. What is the endpoint is accounts. Endpoint is account slash account number. What is the account number is here? ID. Account number is nothing but what here? ID. Now format. Now I just insert what? ID and slash slash, sorry, slash. What is the name of this is? Deposit. So this is an endpoint. So this is a captured parameter or not? Yes. So I said account. And what is the ID in which you are trying to deposit? You are trying to deposit in account number one, whether you want to deposit in account number two, whether you want to deposit in what? Account number three. If any problem with this, take what is this one is account. What is this? Sorry, what is this account number? ID is nothing but what? Account number. But is it any field in your model account number? No. It is ID. It is what? ID. But you are matching with the ID where you are writing this code. In the views.py, you said ID equal to what? Primary key. Primary key is nothing but the value what you send. The value what you send is called as which one? Primary key. Now this is URL. What is this? Primary key. Deposit. Right? Then that's all right. We send the data and then we call the method called which one? Deposit. We just call the function. And what is the name of the function is here? Deposit. Run the code. Right? Now enter the account number one. I want to deposit some 2000, right? Go. Here only. Headers. Where is error here? JSON decoder error. Not here. What I said here? JSON only, right? JSON. Amount is amount. Here only error. Request dot post. Not found. Account slash one slash deposit. Oh, so we have to disable CSRF. So I do it project level. Okay, right? Not found. Account slash one slash deposit. Account. Yeah. Base URL. Account slash account number slash deposit. First of all, it is not sending. Okay, we'll just give this primary key. Okay, right? By confusion. So I just concatenate this account slash str of account number. Yes or no? Then one more is a slash. You can concatenate, right? But it's not recognizing. Okay. Now this is okay. So one more error is there here. So what is the name of the error is serializer dot is valid. In serializer, now here I created one more field, and what is the name of the field is amount, right? But this amount field, in the fields list, this amount is there or not there? Not there, right? Okay, because these are the fields belongs to which one? Model. So there is one error here. The field amount was declared on serializer deposit serializer, but has not been included in the fields option. So, but your model is having how many fields? Three fields. That is ID, name, and next one is what? Balance. So update. Now this is fine. This is fine. Amount should be included here. So, but amount should be included as a part of this deposit serializer because it is not a part of model instance. It is not a part of model. Model is having only three fields, right? Model is having how many fields? ID, name, and what is that? Balance. But here I added one extra field called amount. Why I added amount? Because you're sending amount also and you're checking is it that amount is valid or not. You're checking that amount is valid or not. So for that, I try to include it one field called which one? Amount. Amount is included. So somewhere again serializer decimal field maximum digits, right? Account class fields update amount. This is this amount here. So deposit amount serializer decimal field, right? Actually not required because it is not a part of this field is not a part of which one model. This field is not a part of which one model. See, generally fields means what fields you include? The fields which are available in what model. Whatever fields available in the model, that fields you include as a part of which one meta. But some extra fields, if you want to add it, you're trying to add it in separate. You're trying to add separate, and what is the name of this field is amount. Okay, because this is one external field or pseudo field. You can call it as external field, or the same thing you can call it as a pseudo field. But actually, this is amount validate data. Correct only. Update method, rise and error. So this is a deposit serializer. Okay, let me include because it's saying that include this amount, right? But it is not a part of it, but you're trying to use as a part of which one? Serializer. But this is a new field or not? Yes, right? Let it be. And what we'll do is send a request. Again, send a request. What is an account number is? Yes. And the amount is 1000. Name. This field is required balance. Oh, this field is also what here? Required. Why? Why it is saying it is required? Because. Why it is saying it is required? What is required? Is it complete data is required or not? Yes. Why? Because you are trying to update instance dot balance minus equal to amount, and you are saying instance dot balance plus what here? Amount. And you are saying instance dot what here? Save. But when you're saying instance dot save, it is trying to save by changing only which one? Balance. But is it remaining values are required or not? Yes. Remaining values also what here required. Okay. Then what you try to do? You're trying to read what you're trying to read ID as well as what? Name. But what will I do is I don't include, I don't include which one? Name. I don't include which one here? ID. Now how many fields I included? Two fields. One is a balance and one more is what? Amount. How many fields I included? Only two fields. One is a balance and one more is what? Amount. Otherwise, what is the message I get here? Name field is required and balance field is what here? Required. You're saying that name field is required and balance field is also required. Required means you need to input the name as well as what? Balance. You need to input name as well as balance, but actually you are given two, right? Account comma data is request dot data, right? So just send it. Send it. Now input the account number is one and I try to deposit 1000. What it is? Serializer dot is valid is calling which method? What happened here? We sent it two, right? what we send deposit serializer account, and data is what your request dot update. Yesterday we have seen updating, right? In updating, what you send a deep serializer to the serializer, you send two instances, right? Okay, one is post data and one more is what instance. Post data and one more is what instance. Okay, post data and one more is a instance. Okay, just to see here. See, it is the same. What we are doing is the same thing here. See, yesterday we have seen if the request method is a put, what you send your employee serializer, a request dot data. Then after that, you are saying employee object and employee serializer, employee comma data equal to which one? Employee dictionary. Employee comma data equal to what your employee dictionary. What dictionary contain employee number, employee name, and job as well as what salary. But here we are not updating all the fields. We are not updating what? All the fields, same thing. Here also we send the same thing, but it is asking to input what? It is asking to input what? Employee name as well as what? Balance. But actually, we are updating what? Balance. You are getting the employee number, and after that, you are trying to serialize is valid. Then you are saying serializer dot save. Means you are updating the complete employee details or not? Yes. It means client is sending. If you see the update method, so this is which method update method where you are sending employee number, employee name, okay, job salary, and you are trying to send how much data here, all the data, employee number is there, employee name is there, job is there, as well as what? Salary, and you are sending complete data, and this data is received by which method? This data is received by which method? Put method, and you are reading the request dot data. You are reading the request dot data, and you are saying serializer dot data, and you are trying to send. You are trying to update. This is EMP is the old instance, and data is what here? EMP is the old instance, and data is which one? New. Now you are replacing the old data with what here? New data. But here I'm not replacing all. Here I'm not replacing what? All. I'm trying to replace only. I'm trying to replace only what? Balance. So balance I'm replacing. That is what we have written in the serializer. Update instance. I included only two, right? What is it? Balance and amount. And amount equal to validated data of amount. If amount is less than zero, validation error amount should not be less than zero. Instance dot balance equal to instance dot balance plus amount. Is correct only. So where is the mistake? We are doing it, right? No problem. This can be a post method. This can be what? Put method. I'll just change this method to what? Put because it is for I'm given endpoint. No problem because whenever you are doing changes at server side, you either you do it, okay, but actually it is not required. Why it is asking balance? Model serializer. Huh? Huh? I didn't get here. But you require balance, right? Because you are updating the balance. Instance dot balance is minus amount, right? We require a balance. This balance should be updated, right? We require a balance because you are updating which one? Balance. Okay. What we'll do? But already we read from instance, right? Okay. We'll do one thing. Now we'll just include one field. What is that field is? Amount, right? So why? Because we are trying to already we are read from the instance. What is the instance is having balance, right? Just to run this now, I think it should work now, right? Account number and what is this 1000? Deposit is what here? Complete, right? So here we try to include. Now just go to the admin and check whether it is updated 46,000, right? So there is only one field we serialized, and what is that field is amount. Okay, right? Now here also you remove this thing and include only which field? Amount field, amount field, and then in views, same, only amount field, and this is which view? Withdraw. So because we are not updating the complete, we are trying to update only balance. So otherwise, you have to, if you are including all the fields, if you are including all the fields, then you have to input all the fields. Now this is one more view, and what is the name of the view is? Withdraw view is API view. Withdraw view is what here? API view. API view. Then same thing, but what we have to do is which one is completed? Which one is completed? Withdraw is completed. So the name of the method is what? Put, or you can use a post, self comma, request comma, request comma which one? Primary key. And here I'm writing which one is completed? Withdraw. Withdraw is completed. Withdraw is completed, and then define the URL. Now this is which view? Withdraw view. Now that is the reason I've written this name as what here? Deposit. Here I've written the name as what here? Deposit. Because I want to call with the same name. I want to call with the same name. And this is which view? This is which view? Withdraw view. Okay, I say withdraw view as a callable. And what is the name of this is? Withdraw. What is the name of this is? Withdraw name. And just give the name, and name equal to what here? Deposit. Name equal to deposit. And here I give the name, and name equal to what here? Withdraw. Name equal to deposit, and name equal to withdraw. Now when you're calling deposit, I can call here slash. And slash, what is that? Deposit. Let me check this. Now enter the account number one. I want to deposit 2000. Deposit is what here? Completed. Okay, now write the same thing. So the function is what here? Same. Function is the same, but this time you are trying to do which operation? Withdraw. So your endpoint is the same, but you are trying to say what is the name of this is? Withdraw. This is withdraw. Okay. You are calling the withdraw and send it. What is the name of the function are you calling? Withdraw. You are calling the function called withdraw here, right? So run the code. So run the code. Account number is 1. I want to withdraw some 2000. Withdraw is completed. 46,000. Refresh this. Now balance is 50,000. Now we'll withdraw. Huh? Okay, na? What is the balance is? 50,000, right? Now we'll withdraw because we done lot of deposits. One, I want to withdraw 5,000. Withdraw completed. Refresh this. Deposit. Uh, minus, where we have done the mistake. Wherein? Serializer, sir. Serializers only, right? Oh, withdraw. What happened here? It's calling deposit. No, URL. Withdraw view. Withdraw. Withdraw view as a view. Huh? Views.py. Amount. Minus amount only, no, here. It's calling deposit. Huh? We use with serializer. Oh, yeah. With serializer we use here. Deposit. What we should use with serializer? भाई भी वैसे ही आप भी ऐसे ही है हाँ same school हाँ withdraw serializer right here it is not deposit it is with serializer withdraw run the code 5,000 withdraw completed now 50,000 right so run the code again so account number now I want to withdraw 90,000 now it is raise the error or not yes it is raise the error because is it balance is available or not available not available I said here serializer dot errors is valid, but you have not handled right. So it is given validation error. What is the validation error is insufficient balance. There is an error is raised. What is that error is insufficient balance. But you have to read a response status code and based on that you have to perform the operation. You have to read the response status code. You just displayed it what? You just displayed what here? Errors. You just displayed what here? Errors. But based on the response status code, you have to handle this error. Okay, right. So serializers dot errors, errors, serializer dot errors. What is the error is validation error. It is rise one validation error. And what is that validation error is? What is that error is? Okay, validation error. It is raised right? Serializers validation error. But here serializers dot validation error. So actually this is belongs to which one? Serializers dot validation error. So that it will generate directly JSON response, right? So I've taken directly serializers dot validation error. So let me run this code. Account number is 1 and I want to withdraw 90,000. You can see insufficient balance. Okay, right? So, but here we are trying to update all the fields are only specific fields. specific field. But how? By overriding which method? Update method. And you are trying to include what? Number of fields. You try to include a number of fields, right? So this is a generic API view. This is what is a generic API view. And using this, you can handle various methods like post method. Okay. You can write various methods like get method, put method, delete method, as well as what? Post method. Okay. But there is a specialized API views are there. Create API view, delete API view, update API view. Okay. Now that we'll discuss. Like what do you call it as specialized API views. But this you understood. Deposit API view, and one more is a withdraw. But it is doing which operation here? Put. Put is nothing but what? Update. Now you can convert this put into what now? Patch. Because is it updating all the fields or only one field? One field. Then instead of writing a put here, just try to put what? Patch. Use a method as what here? Patch. Patch method you can use it. Right? Okay. So tomorrow I'll tell you some specialized API views like create. Now you don't require to write this much code. Whenever you want to update, whenever you want to delete, whenever you want to read, all the fields are specific fields. Okay, you don't require to write this much code. You can simply give the inputs. Okay, you give two inputs, serializer as well as what? Model. Then automatically it will read the data from that model by serializing it, and automatically it will generate what? Response. Kali, you don't require to write this much logic. You write only 2 lines or 3 lines of code. But if you want to customize it, compulsory, you have to override the methods. If you want to customize it, then compulsory you have to override the methods. Until unless you are not customizing, then you don't require to override the methods. That is what we have seen, right? So it is saying name is required. All the fields are required, right? So to avoid that, you'll try to customize it by overriding which method? Update method. Suppose if I'm not writing this update method, is it update one field or all the fields? All the fields. It required all the fields. It required what? All the fields. But here I try to update all the fields are specific fields, but by overriding update method as well as I select the fields. Only which field is included as a part of serializer? Amount, right? Yes. So tomorrow we'll see some more API view classes, and then I'll tell you what is a view set. Okay. And then we'll talk about tokenization, because whenever you work with APIs, you'll try to use token based authentication, but not usernames and passwords. Okay. Token based authentication, and how to generate the token and how to authenticate API view by using what? Tokens. And we'll see how to test your API using Postman. How to test your API by using what? Postman, right? So we'll see that tomorrow, right? Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. Hmm. Hmm. What's the idea? ID will be generated automatically, right? Updation, right? क्या कर रहे हैं आप? देखो यार, अरे किधर है यार आप? हाँ, यहाँ पे मॉडल से रिट्रीव करे. చెప్పమ్మా. నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ యూజర్స్ ని యాడ్ చేసిన వన్ కేటగిరీ. ఓకే. దిస్ వీక్ బద్రీనాథ్. దిస్ వీక్. దిస్ వీక్. రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. విల్ స్టార్ట్. శ్రద్ధ. విల్ స్టార్ట్. ఓకే. యా, పాసిబుల్. 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 విల్ స్టార్ట్.